on 5 News and streaming on 5 Plus. This is a Weather Impact Alert.
Well, hey, good morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us. It's been an active morning so far. We're going to get straight to it for what you need as you're heading out the door this morning, Stephen.
Yeah, early this morning, if you were trying to sleep, I mean, it was like 1, 2 in the morning. So more than likely, all of us were asleep still. It was loud outside. We had some very strong thunderstorms. A few of them crossed over to the severe limits. But since then, it's been a bit of a lull. Kind of quiet out there right now. Not much in the way of that activity. A few scattered showers across parts of Franklin and Johnson County right now. A few in Carroll County. But you look just out towards the west, and that's the second round of thunderstorms that we're expecting to arrive later on this morning into the early afternoon. Now, again, these showers just now moving into parts of the Tulsa metro. So again, I think this eventually starts to slow down a lot. That's where we're going to see some flooding concern across parts of central Oklahoma into the Tulsa metro. I think the arrival of the heavy rainfall and additional thunderstorms arrives in northwest Arkansas and the River Valley by the time we at least get later on into the morning, past the commute hour, and into early this afternoon is really where that threat comes back up for the chances of more of those thunderstorms. So Futurecast is showing us this, clearing out those rain chances for that morning commute at least through 8, 9 o'clock. But by the time we get later on this morning, we'll have to see, is this model maybe lagging behind just a bit? We could see those heavier showers start to move in a little bit sooner, but along that leading edge of those thunderstorms that develop by the time we get to this afternoon, let's say closer towards that noon hour, along that leading edge, we're going to find those damaging winds, the chances for some rotation as well. These strong thunderstorms, potentially severe, continue into your afternoon and into the early evening hours with additional heavy rainfall and again the chances for more of those thunderstorms. Weather impact alert for us today. Strong thunderstorms, the potential for some flooding. Make sure you have those warnings turned on just in case those alerts turned on in case we get one of those warnings. Level 2 out of 5 risk across northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. What that means for you is the chances for additional thunderstorms this afternoon, producing some strong winds, if not some rotation, is what we'll have to watch out for today as well. It's low, but it's not zero. Let's get a check of traffic out there this morning. Good morning to you there. I-540 crossing over the Arkansas River. No accidents, no slowdowns, at least from this image. It looks pretty quiet out there right now. It's a bit cooler as well. Again, by the time we get later on this morning into the early afternoon, that's when we'll have the additional chances for more heavy rainfall, if not a few strong thunderstorms.
All right. Thank you, Stephen. Taking a look at some power outages this morning because we've had some across our area. This is a look here at LaFleur County in Oklahoma. About 530-something, 50-something folks without power this morning. That was over 1,200 this morning. So down a little bit. Crews out there working on getting everything back up and running. All right, one of our top stories this morning, the president marking 100 days in office for his second term.
He visited Michigan on Tuesday to speak about his accomplishments. The president played up what polls show is his strongest issue, immigration. He showed a propaganda video shot by the El Salvadorian government showing undocumented immigrants that the administration has sent to a prison there.
We are delivering mass deportation, and it's happening very fast.
Well, this morning we're learning more about the victims killed actually in a car crash. You'll remember at a building there in Chatham, Illinois, Monday afternoon, police say 44-year-old Marianne Akers drove through a community center, killing 4 and injuring 6 others. 7-year-old Emma Bunner Campy was one of the victims. 8-year-old Ainsley Johnson, 7-year-old Catherine Corley, and 18-year-old Riley Britton. They were also killed. The driver was uninjured and taken to the hospital and later released from custody. Illinois State Police say they don't believe the crash was intentional, but they are investigating. Well, the Tennessee trial for 3 former Memphis police officers accused of beating 29-year-old Tyree Nichols to death is underway this week. Nichols died in January 2023 after a traffic stop when members of a special unit in the police department repeatedly beat him for what they called resisting arrest. Monday started with opening statements, and on Tuesday, the state presented testimony from Nichols' mother.
I walked into the room and I saw my son. I immediately went over to him and I fell out on him because my son was beaten to a pulp.
Well, the former police officers accused in the beating, Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, and Justin Smith, have pleaded not guilty. They face several charges, including murder in the 2nd degree and aggravated assault.
Well, in our continuing coverage this morning, a man facing multiple charges, including terroristic threatening and battery, is set to appear in court for a status hearing today. Randall Worcester was arrested by Crawford County deputies in 2022. According to reports, a gas station employee in Alma said Worcester had threatened her. A viral video showed law enforcement violently beating Worcester during the arrest in Mulberry. 2 deputies involved in the incident, Zachary King and Levi White, were both sentenced to prison last year. Worcester's hearing is set to start at 10 this morning, and his jury trial is set for June 23rd.
New information on a deadly shooting in Springdale, which happened on Wayland Avenue just before 3 p.m. Tuesday. Court documents show that the suspect, 20-year-old Ashton Valentine, shot and killed 19-year-old Willie Tillman. Police say he also shot another woman, injuring her. And court documents show that Ashton knew the woman and was in a previous relationship with her. Police say Valentine ran from the house after the shooting, but eventually turned himself into police. He's now facing capital murder and attempted capital murder charges.
Well, the Arkansas Department of Health is confirming another case of measles in the state. It's another pediatric case and marks the 4th in the state that's linked to an outbreak that started in Texas earlier in the year. ADH says that the child was not fully vaccinated and has no recent travel outside of Arkansas. So it's likely that this is the first case of community spread tied to the outbreak. The state health officer says that this comes as MMR vaccination rates have declined in nearly every county in Arkansas.
But most counties in Arkansas have MMR vaccination rates that are too low to provide community immunity.
Well, the ADH says that the child visited a medical center and dance studio in Conway while they were possibly contagious. Now, no exposures have been identified at daycares or schools at this time.
Enforcement city directors are beginning the steps of disciplining City Human Resources Director Rick Lawley. This comes after Rebecca Cowan was appointed to be Fort Smith's Director of Internal Audit, then fired after it was learned she was wanted out of Floor County on an outstanding warrant for stalking. After nearly 3-hour closed-door discussion, the board voted to direct the acting city administrator to begin disciplinary action against Lawley and then report back to the board in a few weeks. New this morning, Arkansas State Police warning about a scam going around, offering an easy way to get your concealed handgun license. Now, in their alert, they say the only way to obtain a license is through state police, but they say there are offers going around social media right now that are not affiliated with ASP. If a deal feels too good to be true, it is. And all electronic license renewals must go through ASP's website. Well, Smith Elementary is spending the day learning outside the classroom in a fun way.
4th graders went to Appleseed's Farm in Fayetteville to dive into the world of food systems. 5 News reporter Rachel Williams and photojournalist Will Maxwell joined them on their field trip and show us what all it entails.
Good morning, guys. We all remember going on field trips growing up, and today is already full of fun. The kids are learning the difference between processed and unprocessed foods, and they even got to get their hands dirty.
What do you think sodium stands for?
Nestled in the heart of Fayetteville, Appleseed's Farm is buzzing with excitement. Each week, busloads of local students participate in a classroom like no other.
They're here for a couple hours to learn about how their food is grown, where it comes from, how to read a nutrition label, and then we also bake some roasted roots and a yogurt dip with them so they can put what they've learned in the morning about where their food comes from into practice and learn how to roast things.
For years, Appleseeds and Springdale Public Schools have partnered to provide a unique hands-on experience. Appleseed's mission is to inspire healthy living through garden-based education. And here at the farm, they don't just learn about nutrition, they live it.
We are currently partnered with 12 of the Springdale Public Schools. Next year, it will be more of them. And we get to see all of their kids, kindergarten through 5th grade. So every kid, every year is the partnership. And then part of that partnership is also that schools with a greater than 45% free and reduced lunch rate.
The first part of the field trip is learning about food systems. Then students get to experience the joy of picking their own produce from the farm. After that, they learn how to prepare healthy and delicious meals. And finally, tasting the new food.
It's made me excited because I like to chop vegetables, and it's helped me to know how to chop, and there's different ways to chop.
On the menu today is beets, carrots, sweet potatoes, and yogurt dip. It actually takes 12 to 14 tries. From From the seed to the table, program manager Tova Bohr says this curriculum is designed to make the connection between diet-related illness later in life and child nutrition.
And so being able to start with some of those lessons young while they're still malleable, they're still trying to decide what they like and don't like, and being able to give some of that information of how to make healthy choices earlier in life sets kids up for health throughout their life, which can help with success in school, it can help with focus in school, it can help with test scores.
Appleseeds also does a lot of programming like food donations and cooking classes with Springdale Elementary Schools. Their next food donation is Thursday, and this is where the kids are able to take home the food to their families. But for now, I'm in Fayetteville covering news where you live. Rachel Williams, 5 News.